Government on technology and joins us now live from Delhi. Thanks for joining us. What did you think of the court verdict on this? Do you think they got the balance right?
I do think that the court has got the balance right. The kind of project which has been created over the last few years is so mammoth, and there's really no precedence for it across the world. So the policy makers in India don't have a template to borrow from. They don't have benchmarks to study. So in many ways, this is a work in progress. And I would say that the policy makers and the civil society organizations are feeling their way through it. I think they have been overzealous in parts in terms of, using the card as a silver bullet for almost every form of identification. But I'm glad that the Supreme Court has said that fundamentally the concept is sound, but has put some fence around it to ensure that it is not misused.
And what is the potential for misuse? I mean, why the worry about using it for bank accounts and mobile connections and school admissions and so on?
Well, the point is that, there are several other identity norms and cards which identify who a citizen is. Now, if you start using it for everybody, it doesn't make sense, because what of the others? But the problem with the card is that it's the address on the card, for instance, and it's being often used as a proof of residence, is not double verified. Now, if that doesn't happen and the card, and when I go and get a card, my biometrics are authentic, but my address is not. And in a country like India, where there's a high urban and rural mobile population, that becomes a problem. So if you decide the identity and validity of a citizen based only on that card, I think it can be misapplied.
What is the benefit of this card system in your view? What was your involvement with it?
Well, there has been a very big need in India for ensuring that the government benefits and subsidies reach people. We've had several leakages which go into billions of dollars over the years, and people could. We have another crisis in the country. The documentation is not as authentic as it can be. Now, biometrics ensures that there cannot be duplication of identity. And I think this is the first step towards it, to ensure that once an individual has been identified with the biometrics, that person cannot pretend to be somebody else. Now, this is important from the government's point of view, and not just in India. I would say across the world, in every society, to ensure that there is no one person pretending to be another person. Now, once that is established, the question is, what do you do with the data? So the questions around it is that biometric data, how safe and secure it is, and are there enough accountability, checks and balances to ensure that people do not leak it? And I think that's some of the biggest questions which is facing Aadhaar.
Pranjal Sharma, very good to speak to you. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.